The Chennai Corporation is paying hundreds of crores to private contractors to manage our waste. In part 1 of this series, we saw how this move affects our workers. But what about the rest of the city? Does privatization make a good financial sense for Chennai? As we saw earlier, 13 of the 15 zones are now under private contractors like Ramki and Urbaser Sumit. But it is not entirely clear how much these contracts are costing our city. Take for instance the contract to Delhi MSW Solutions in zones 5 and 6. According to a council resolution in June 2025, GCC will be paying an initial annual fee of Rs 276 crore to Delhi MSW for all the listed work. According to the Hindu report, the private contractor will pay a total of 20,136 rupees, including all the benefits to each worker per month. This means that the private contractor will need 92.03 crore rupees to pay the salaries of 3,809 workers needed for zones 5 and 6. If 92.03 crores is spent on the salaries and benefits of the workers, where does the remaining 183.97 crore rupees go? The issues with privatizing, especially in zones 5 and 6, do not end here. As we saw earlier, Ramki Group already manages waste in zones 1, 2, 3 and parts of zone 7. Delhi MSW Solutions, which is a Ramki Group venture, manages waste in zones 5 and 6. GCC has also floated a tender to privatize waste management in zones 7 and 8. Overall, Ramki Group manages majority of the zones from zones 1 to 8. These are the same zones in which the GCC is planning to establish an integrated solid waste processing facility along with a waste-to-energy plant for processing solid waste from zones 1 to 8.
So the sanitary workers protest should not be looked in isolation, and it is intrinsically connected with the proposed waste to energy incineration plant in Kodungayur, Chennai. So if you look at the entire picture, uh, this company called Ramki is going to be handed over the responsibility to collect our waste, to transport our waste, and also dispose it. So what you can look at here is the end-to-end capture of the waste management system by a corporate company.
Guess who the GCC has awarded the contract for this integrated solid waste processing facility? It is to the Delhi MSW Solutions. But as we reported previously, this company has faced issues with operating WTE plants in other cities like Delhi.
In our organization Center for Financial Accountability, we looked at the financials of various waste to energy companies across India. So what we found was that the companies which are just managing the incineration plants, the waste to energy plants, they are not profitable as such. It becomes very difficult for them to do their operations. But when a company is able to do the collection, the transportation, and the waste to energy plant, they are kind of able to survive and have good financials. So increasingly, we are seeing waste picker organizations, cooperatives, waste picker cooperatives being sidelined for the corporatization of waste management.
Moreover, privatization is costing the GCC and therefore us the taxpayers a lot more money. According to the Hindu report, GCC's 2025 budget allocated 352 crore rupees for solid waste management for the entire city of Chennai. Meanwhile, the GCC pays 276 crores to Delhi MSW Solutions for waste management for just 2 zones. This raises worrying questions about cost and fiscal responsibility. The GCC has said in the council resolution that it will appoint an independent engineer to monitor private players like Delhi MSW. But the companies will have to bear 50% of the payment for these monitors.
When you have the private player paying for an independent engineer, then the question of accountability does not arise, because the independent engineer cannot function independently if it is being paid, if he or she is going to be paid by the same contractor which is doing the operations. So this in itself is very problematic, having someone called independent engineer and then asking the private company, in this case Ramki, to pay 50% of the salary is not going to ensure that the engineer is independent.
The GCC website does not publicize the list of private players for each zone and how much money they are being paid. So Chennai residents do not have a clear information on who is handling waste in their zones and how much of the taxpayers' money goes into it. In the name of efficiency, Chennai's waste management is becoming more centralized, more expensive, and less transparent. Workers are losing, residents are losing, and the taxpayers are footing a bigger bill. Shouldn't the corporation have consulted the citizens before making such a big move? Tell us what you think in the comments and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.